This is the Macro Ghost, and I'm going to be covering IBRX today and a macro weekly wrap-up. A weekly wrap-up on IBRX as well, the price action that I saw from a daily basis. And I took to Reddit and I saw a lot of confused people, so I wanted to answer some questions for those confused opinions, such as IBRX, it's going down to 550, it's in trouble, or why is it going up when the market's going down? I have theories to those questions, so you're going to want to stay tuned for that. But first things first, I'm going to go over the macro view of everything. This week we saw some major earnings. We saw Facebook or Meta come out with blasted earnings. Microsoft also did well on their guidance, but they missed estimates because stocks sometimes are going to be priced to perfection, especially in a bull run like this, so that if there's any slip up whatsoever, such as like a Microsoft ChatGPT threat in the future, it's priced to perfection. The PE is at like 40. So generally historical PE should be around 22 to 30. So if it's priced to perfection, it's going to sell off. And there's a lot of headlines about Bitcoin falling below 80. If you follow my channel, I was calling this as soon as Bitcoin went in the Gaussian channel at 106. So congrats to us for spotting that early in November. And I haven't really touched Bitcoin or crypto, but I do expect it to continue to fall. There will be bounces along the way. I expect bounces at 69K, bounces at 50K. Perhaps maybe capitulating down to 30K, but I'm not sure. I don't know the future. I'm just speculating. The market, the macro market is priced to perfection. We saw a new Fed chair come in. This new Fed chair is going to be against quantitative easing. If you don't know what that is, that just means balance sheet accumulation on the Fed's part. He doesn't like that. That creates inflation. He doesn't like inflation, but he does favor a lower interest rate, which can be inflationary if it's at zero. But I think a 1.5% to 3% Fed funds overnight rate is perfectly fine. It's not going to be inflationary. Number one, because it's high enough to avoid inflation on the overnight rates. Number two, we have a technological bull run happening, and technology usually tends to lower prices as it gets more efficient. Technology will make things more efficient and prices will come down. And that's what Fed Chair Warsh was talking about in a lot of his speeches. So to prelude that, Warsh came in, the market sold off, a lot of earnings are moving the market, and somebody asked me, well, why isn't IBRX selling off? Well, I'm going to get to that. So let's continue on this segment, and if you wanted to skip to IBRX, this is the precise moment that I'm going to cover IBRX, okay? And I'm on the daily here, but I drew this line on the weekly, this point of control line, because there's resistance here, and resistance here. So this is a point of control supply-demand fight. And we go back to the daily. When we get around this point of control, there's going to be, some people taking risks on the short selling side because they know it's a point of control. So they're going to say, well, I'm going to short at this line, and if it gets 80 cents above this line, I'm just going to cover. So if we get above that line, great, because we're probably going to get a short squeeze. But to get above that line, I think we need more events. And the events are Patrick Soon-Shiong saying there's been some new thing happening. The FDA approves papillary. The FDA approves lung cancer. The Saudi FDA is serving 300 clients in lung cancer. These are events. Earnings are an event too. 700% year on year is an event. If it grows by 1,400% quarter on quarter, that's going to be a huge event, okay? So we got to watch out for those events, and we can't be so critical about the intraday price movements. If we go here on the daily, to me, all this looks great. I mean, it looks normal. You see this volume spike. That's what I like to watch. And as I said in previous videos, I watch the RSI on the 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 4 hour, the daily, okay? So the RSI on the 4 hour is going to look a lot nicer than a daily because it's a shorter time frame. So to accumulate, I'd like a 4 hour at about 30. And you see the 4 hour is kind of trailing on that Gaussian line, and the Gaussians flip green on the daily and the 4 hour. And so the higher time frame is going to be more where the higher confidence is. And so my bet is this 70 is probably going to hold as IBRX consolidates. It could go to 550 again. It could go back to $8, 750 again. But to me, those daily price movements are unimportant. And they're unimportant because, number one, like I said, it doesn't have an event behind it anymore. This is the event. The volume is the event, okay? So as you see this volume tailing off and price going sideways, whether it goes up 50 cents or down 50 cents in any given day, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you this. This is fact. Okay, so if you see volume start to tail off and the price maybe go up and then go down a little bit, it's just forming its bull flag. It's getting its preparation waiting for the next event. And so the next question I wanted to ask, and so this is a daily, so this is the last week. So we came down and we're making this nice bottom here, or like local bottom, I'm saying. So if we hold that, great. And I'll be looking for other support levels, like that local bottom might be playing off this former resistance level where resistance flips to support. So does it mean it's going to hold? No, it can come down to 4. If you draw the fib levels, it could do whatever it wants. And that's the point of trading and investing, is you have to be ready for anything. So I'm going to draw those fib levels. I'm ready for 508, which is the 0.50 fib. I'm ready for 618, which is 434. Of course, I'm going to be a buyer there. I'm not going to be worried about the price coming down. I'm going to say, okay, this is a low price. I want to buy low, and I want to, in theory, sell high. With IBRX, I'm not really looking to sell because I know its potential. I know it's in commercialization. But that's the point of trading, is that you can't be afraid of when the price comes down to the 618 or 786 even, although I don't think it's going to. And you see this really nice, let's go to the weekly here. Has the Gaussian flipped? No, it flipped on the daily. Nice Gaussian flip on the daily. Weekly is more powerful time frame, so I don't give the daily as much credit. You see how it flipped here and then went right back to red? So I don't rely on the daily Gaussian, but I do rely on volume. So if I see volume coming down and I see the RSI at 70 and holding, and I see price holding, generally I say that's bullish. Unless the price comes back down to $2, that's not bullish. If the price comes to the 786, the golden pocket, the 618, the 0.50, to me it's all bullish. But do I think it's going to go there? It looks to be in price discovery of where it wants to hold its range. So the next question, the second question, the last question I wanted to get to in this weekly wrap-up is, why is IBRX not going down when the market's going down? Well, it's a really good question, actually. The market, again, especially tech, large cap tech, they are priced to perfection. So if you have investments that are trading off of future earnings, such as Apple or NVIDIA or PLTR, that are priced to perfection, let's look at PLTR. You're going to have any... not bad, but like any type of weird news. Look at that. I mean, that's it's not just today. That's come down from 180, I believe. Yeah, 200. Yeah. So that's looking like a bearish chart, actually. You see that? 1 top, 2 tops, 3 tops, triple top, and then a low, and then a lower low. So I'm actually going to look for bounces, and then I'm going to probably try and short PLTR. But anyway, getting back to the issue, whenever you have things priced to perfection, and something weird happens, like a new Fed chair who's against quantitative easing, you're going to have people taking profits. Why does this not affect IBRX? Well, IBRX, the new money coming into IBRX is not going to sell. And the old money, me, you guys, some of you guys, we're not going to sell. Some of the paper-handed people, the new people, might sell. And some of the short sellers might reestablish shorts. But this stock is not going to trade on macro events because it's not priced to perfection. It's priced for a speculative event. This right here was a speculative event-driven move up. And it's going to consolidate, maybe on the downside, maybe come back to 8, 750, whatever. And it's not going to really move as the market moves. So why did the market nuke and IBRX go up? Well, the IBRX holders are convinced. The shorts also want to reload, so it's going to be a little bit of a tug of war, and it's going to be in this price discovery until Patrick Soon-Shiong or FDA or the Saudi FDA come up with some event, some big event, and we're expecting those events to come in February, correct? So I would look for a move this month, but not based on market moves. So that's why it's such a joy to hold IBRX, because there's so much upside here, and the market's moving down, and the biotech stock is not moving down. You saw this happen in 2008. If you were an investor in 2008, everything got hit in the financial crisis. Healthcare did not get hit as hard. And healthcare, actually, some healthcare outperformed. This is biotech. This is biohealthcare. So you could see some inverse beta or some inverse moves to the market based on the events that happen in IBRX. And that's what we saw this week. We saw it hold levels, and that's exactly what you want to see in a cancer cure. That shows me strength, not weakness. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked it, like, subscribe, share this video, tell a friend, maybe share IBRX, tell them what they're doing, and then get them to subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be covering IBRX specifically, as I'm a big owner in IBRX and a big believer going forward. Bad news, good news, no news, I'm going to be covering it. So thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video.